Everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today is June 6, 2024. This is the daily read for the collective. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you're located. Only if the date is right is necessary. Hopefully, this read will bring you some clarity and some help. King of Cups energy. King of Cups energy is something that we can improve. First of all, we can look at the picture. We can see this person, even though this person is a male in the picture, but it's not necessarily meaning that someone is a male who is involved in the situation. It can be, but at the same time, the gender, it doesn't matter, at least in my theory. This person is sitting on a chair, and the chair is on top of a turbulent ocean. So, and we can also see there is a ship that is carrying goods and carrying people. Well, I don't know if there are people or there are goods, but they are doing something, and they are related to logistics and the operations of something that is uneasy, but still it has to go through. Something still has to be done. So even though the ocean looks very turbulent, this King of Cups person, as we can see, they are calm, they are patient, they are not frightened because they are very used to the turbulence of the ocean. They accept the fact that the ocean is sometimes unpredictable, and sometimes the waves can be really violent, but they're okay because they have experiences about this situation before. So what I can think about is today there might be situations where we might feel like kind of sensitive. Maybe something related to our emotions is being triggered somehow. But because this is nothing new to us in general, so we decided to use a very sophisticated approach to deal with our emotional health, emotional well-being, so that we can keep things moving without bursting out, without letting our emotions overwhelm us. So this is the quality of King of Cups. So obviously some of us will feel a little bit pressured by the situation. I don't know what situation will that be. It depends who you are. But there will be things or maybe moments that will make you feel like, wow, it's kind of unpredictable, it's kind of stressed, but you understand the fact that you have all the tools to feel safe and to feel secured. So today is a day to express and to exercise our emotional strength about the situation. Yes, maybe there are parts of the day that can be challenging somehow, but we can get through it by not being overly emotional. When a King of Cups appear, that means we have to be emotionally sophisticated and utilize our experiences in our lives so that we can accept the situation and not needing to show our emotional side to the others, because today is about emotional maturity. Probably you find the reasons to be very emotionally matured, and sometimes it depends on what character you are. For some people who are always being very straightforward and wear their emotions on their sleeves, today you might feel like there is a need to kind of calm down and kind of change the approach of your personal expressions. Maybe there are consequences that that will lead you to temper down your normal emotional behavior or your normal character, and you find a reason to do so because you have something that you want to accomplish, and it's possible that you realize that in a certain situation, if you just say what you want to say, act what you want to act, it's gonna be problematic and you're probably not gonna get what you want. So this can be one of the scenarios, so that because of this realization, you decide to use another approach. Maybe some of you will feel like kind of uncomfortable to be, kind of like hiding your emotions for a while. But because you know what is happening and you know this is probably the only way that can get you through a situation without troubles, so you decide to be, not revealing your emotions somehow. I guess this can be a, the boss situation. Maybe someone among the authorities, they will say something, they will have a communication with you, and then you really want to punch them, but you're not gonna punch them because you know it's gonna bring you in trouble. So I'm just talking about examples. This can be one of the scenarios. So you just decide to be kind of, no matter what they say to you, you just like, okay, all right, or maybe just not giving an emotional response because you clearly know that it's not gonna work if you just let it all out. And this is wisdom. This is being wise. King of Cups energy is about being wise, especially related to emotional situations. So be aware of the things that happen today that might be kind of testing your patience and your emotions. And you're gonna be alright, because the King of Cups energy this is not something new. This is something that you have experience about. So no need to be fear, because you know what to do. For some of you, today might be a good time to consume seafood, because the King of Cups is related to seafood, and it's also important to consider the role of seafood in your diet. Are you consuming enough seafood? Are you allergic to seafood? Are you lacking in some of the vitamins or nutrients that the seafood can generally provide you? If you have fishes if you have sea turtles, if you have pets that live in water, today might be a good time to pay more attention to them, pay more attention to their needs, make sure that they are safe. I would suggest you to do some kind of bacteria check. Make sure that the bacterial growth in the tank is under control, so that your pets can live a good life. King of Cups energy is also about being able to emotionally nurture yourself while not rocking the boat. So this is not easy for everyone, because in order to be the King of Cups, first of all, you have to be sensitive enough about your own emotional truth. When someone says something, when somebody does something, when something happens, and then you react, and we need to know why we are reacting in certain ways. That's about the emotional awareness that we actually need, especially for today. If someone says something, if you feel like there's something that triggered you, maybe not negatively, but just on an emotional level, maybe it tickles you, maybe it just makes you feel like something is off, doesn't feel right, or maybe something touches you deeply. So this type of awareness is crucial for your success today, because the King of Cups energy allows us to be emotionally connected with ourself. Not everybody is emotionally connected with themselves. Sometimes people act something, they do something, but that does not necessarily mean that's their emotional truth, because there are a lot of different types of people. Some people they feel something and then they do the opposite. Some people they do something based on their true emotions, so they are aligned with their emotional truth, emotional self, but not everybody does the same. So for some of you, if you've been told by somebody that you have to take care about your emotions, and if you can remember that someone or in some situation you get the message about you are being out of touch of your emotions, then today is a time to try to not slow down, but at least ask yourself some questions. See if you can connect to some new awareness about your emotions, because for some people, emotions are very difficult to tackle. They don't usually tap into their emotions, especially for people who work in the authorities, policemen, firemen, first responder. I mean, these heroes, these people, the soldiers in the army, the navy, military people. It can be somewhat difficult for them to to let their emotions to connect with what they are doing naturally. I mean, I'm just having difficulty to express. You know, I'm having this moment because this can be one of the moments that these people might experience in their daily lives because they are not allowed to be emotional. Because if emotions get into the way, they probably will have a hard time to carry out their duties, which can be, their duties are honorable, are self-sacrificing, you know. For these people, the King of Cups energy is a door for you to open up to your emotions. Probably when you're resting, when you're off duty, then that's the time that you can try to, sit still, stand still, or maybe close your eyes. Try to feel. Maybe even try to feel where your heart is, where your heart beats. Because the heart is really related to our emotions, and I recently had this awareness that I don't really aware where my heart is beating. I have to really sit down, sit still to realize, oh, okay, that's my heart. And from that point, we can think about what we are truly feeling, but not what we are being asked to feel and being asked to fulfill and being asked to not feeling. So yeah, the King of Cups energy allows us to tap into our emotional truth, but at the same time be aware, be fully aware about the circumstances around us, the dangers, the possible problems. If we let ourselves be emotionally vulnerable. Yes, maybe it is difficult, or maybe it's dangerous to be emotionally vulnerable to our surroundings. But at least, if we can be emotionally truthful to ourselves and be vulnerable towards ourselves, then it is a good thing. Because this aligns us with our emotional truth. And when this alignment happens, we will feel less insecure and less feeling out of direction. So, in general, the King of Cups usually represents situations where we need to be very emotionally stable and mature to deal with. So, I would say if something happens today, don't be feared, because you can tap into your experiences to deal with the situation without being freaked out. Because deep inside you, you know what's happening and you know what to do. And don't let the fear and anxieties overload you. And you'll be fine. So, last but not least, I wonder if some of you like to wear the yellow, the color yellow. I don't know what the color yellow represents for you. Maybe some of you might feel like when you wear the yellow, it can bring you some nostalgic moments in your life that can recall some of the memories that you had. The vision I have about the yellow is not a very bright yellow. It's about a very dimmed yellow. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. So I don't know. Maybe for some of you who is associated with the yellow, the color yellow, if you wear that piece of clothing that is yellowish, that has a specific meaning to your life, you probably will recall some of your memories. And through that moment, you can either feel like, I don't get the sense of feeling really happy, but the sense of knowing that something has to be that way, and knowing that the brightest color of the yellow, sometimes it is not as the same as most of the people can see it. There are different kinds of yellow, and there's a type of yellow that is very subtle and it's not bright, but it's bright enough to be a light, but at the same time it gives a feeling of subtle and also a sense of a compromised situation. The King of Cups energy. This person, they know that things are not perfect. In many situations, things are not perfect. And there might be situations today where you can recall some of your old memories. And I have to say that maybe it is painful to remember. But there are lessons that you learned before. Back in the days when you were still young and emotionally fresh and vulnerable, and not being afraid of vulnerable, you might experience the hurt and the wounds, and that made you grow up a lot. And you have the awareness that you have to be settled with that situation. And you settled because that gave you peace. And today, for some reason, maybe there are situations that you might or might not forget about that sensation, the sensation of compromised, emotionally compromised. And if you remember that, please be sure that you've earned that awareness and you've earned that lesson. And there's no need to take another lesson again in the same way. You can just bring out the strength that you gained before. You just need to remember that, so you can be safe regardless of the turbulence you are currently facing. Yes, there might be a sense of sadness, but deep inside you, if you allow yourself to tap into your wisdom, if you allow yourself to really grow up and to accept that something is just the way it is, and it is not worth it for you to feel emotionally drained or even emotionally involved in a situation that does not deserve emotional involvement somehow. King of Cups energy is about keeping things moving even though they're emotionally challenged. You see what I mean? So there's a system that you need to create to filter out and to isolate the turbulence around you, so that you can still be calm, be patient, be content, be aware about the situation while not being harmed by the turbulence. You see what I mean? I think some of you, there might be a need to recall those memories when things were not being okay. Even though you might feel like, hey, now I'm in a lot better place now. Why would I look back? Because when you look back, there is the wisdom, and you probably will see the value of the wisdom and the experience for the situation you face today. It can be a repeating of something that happened before. It depends on who you are, depends on your unique situations. You might or might not want to act in the same way than before, if the situation is similar to, what you experienced before. So, I hope this message is sufficient for your growth and sufficient for your success. And in general, the most important message I gained through this reading and through this moment is about being able to compromise yourself emotionally towards a situation. I don't necessarily mean compromising towards a person, but more about the situation, and knowing that you have the emotional intelligence to deal with it, and you have that intelligence to actually stay out of the troubles. Or maybe still you have to be involved, but at least you know how to be calm, how to be stable. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like the video and the content, please consider subscribing and liking the videos. It helps a lot, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye.